Hello everyone, welcome to episode 16 of my indie game Devlog. This week should hopefully be the last one where I work on the new building system, at least for now. I'll start with the stairs. Yesterday I managed to put holes in the floor, now I want to add surfaces connecting these floors. The stairs are now implemented. As you can see, I reused the surfaces that I use for the walls. I will add proper stairs very soon, but these are good enough for now. Now I only need to add the stairs to the navigation mesh, so that workers can use them. Because the stairs are not vertical, the Nest system automatically marks them as walkable. Let's go over to GeoGebra to look at the nav graph. You can see that 2 new rectangles have been added. What is missing are connections between the stairs and floors. By analyzing the attachments, I can add those quite easily. It's a bit hard to see all the lines, so I removed one floor. I also highlighted the new attachment lines in red. On the right side, the lines end outside the nav mesh. That needs to be fixed so that they can connect to the other vertices of the stair. I've now connected all the vertices to the respective rooms. That means that navigation should now hopefully work, or at least not throw an error. And indeed, it doesn't throw an error. The Pathfinder accepts our new graph without issues and also finds the correct path. But as you can see, there are still some issues with the actual movement, which I will have to log into. I suspect it has something to do with the transition animations between different surfaces. It was actually simpler than expected. The issue was simply that the matrix that specified the surfaces was set up incorrectly. The transitions still look a bit rough and the NPCs don't collide with the stairs and holes, but I'll leave that for later. The last big aspect that needs to be worked on for the new building system is construction. This is actually the main reason for the whole redesign. But because I really want to work on other things, I will only implement the bare minimum. First, I need to be able to draw different parts of a building individually. Previously, the construction order was fixed, but I want to take a more general approach this time. That means that I need to be able to toggle each piece of wood individually. After some back and forth, I set it on this. The whole mesh is sent to the GPU. I also store the part ID in each vertex. In addition to the mesh, there's a small texture with 1 pixel for each part. When drawing, I check the corresponding pixel and only draw the part if the pixel is white. This means that there's almost no performance hit because the CPU doesn't have to do any more work. I can simply modify the texture to make parts appear and disappear. I can only create shaders on Windows due to a monogame limitation, so I figured I might as well work on some more effects. First, I improved the sky a bit. It used to be just a solid color, now I can set a horizon and azimuth color, and there's a nice gradient between the two. I also wanted to revamp the lighting pipeline so that it uses high dynamic range. Sometimes there are parts of the screen that are too bright. That results in ugly clipping artifacts. By using HDR and the tone mapper, I can avoid this. As you can see, the tone mapper makes the scene look very desaturated. I will have to adjust the colors to get back to a nice look. I'll do this over time, so be prepared for sudden color changes in the coming weeks. I also added some bloom. Bloom is an effect that adds blur to the bright parts of the image. At the moment, it's both hard to see and a bit too strong. I think it will probably look better once I have a more nuanced lighting setup. I will create a day-night cycle at some point, but I have not made any specific plans. I'd be very interested to hear your feedback on this. Now let's get back to the building system. The current animation is played in a fixed order. I want to make this more flexible, but there still needs to be some order. What I settled on is this. Each part stores a list of other parts it is connected to. The part can only be built when the other parts are in place. To demonstrate this, I'm picking a random part of these possible parts every turn. Later on, I will add back workers, but as I said, I won't do that right away. There are some issues because this surface type is implemented in a slightly hacky way. Next week I will add new surfaces that look more realistic. As always, I'm looking forward to your feedback. Thank you for watching and see you next week.